Yeah, my fellow of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, as you say, and the Institution of Mechanical Engineers is working in collaboration with the Danish Society of Engineers and engineering institutions worldwide. Actually, the last count we had about 20 engineering institutions, and that represents well over 1 million engineers worldwide. And what we're trying to do is actually underpin some of these national commitments that we hear about in the COP process with some engineering numbers, some really good data, and so that it's evidence-based policy making.
Okay, the second week of negotiation just started this morning. As an engineer, what do you think about the draft of the agreement?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that I'm thrilled that we've got to this point at COP21, because a few years ago it didn't look like we were going to get to this point. I think when I last spoke to you guys, the Climate Change TV, it was in Cancun in Mexico, and it was looking decidedly difficult at that stage. So I would say this is great that we've got to this point where we're discussing INDCs. I've just come from a side event, however, where the concluding remarks of the chairman did say that actually, in terms of, for example, fossil fuel subsidy reduction, we need to actually now take the aspiration from that FFSR, which is the easier UN way of saying it, and actually put it into pragmatic and technical statements. So that's where we sit with our projects. It's Future Climate Engineering Solutions, so it's all about the solutions, not just about the aspiration. So I suppose, in a direct answer to your question, wonderful that we've actually got to this point, but how are we going to make sure that the numbers add up to the aspiration?
Do you believe in this? Do you think that they will make their pledge real?
I think, although I'm an engineer and I'm really passionate about numbers and getting things into a state where you can actually see how it's going to be delivered within the industries, which engineers, let's face it, tend to be the ones in the industries that deliver it. I am very excited that we've, as I said, that we've got to this stage where we can actually start discussing internationally across borders how we're going to actually make the national plans add up.
So, my question was more, is it possible to make the commitment that the states have made already real? Is it possible?
I think it has to be possible, doesn't it? Some of the numbers we looked at 6 years ago, when we looked at the UK's commitment to 80% reduction in emissions, there had to be some huge bottom lines to achieve that 80% reduction. So I'm not saying that it's easy. But it's definitely difficult. So, for example, our plan, the IMEC's National Energy Plan, suggested that to achieve 80% reduction in the UK, we would have to make all automotive transport electric. We would have to increase our nuclear energy threefold. We would have to ramp up on all our renewable wind and solar energy as fast as possible, perhaps up to 80 times the amount of wind energy. So these are sort of the huge numbers that we're talking about. So it's not going to be easy, but then there have been many things in history that haven't been easy, and we have achieved them. We like to think of this as the third industrial revolution. So the first being the steam engine, the second perhaps being the computer. And we believe in the engineering world that we can achieve those things. So
you're definitely optimistic. The political will is strong enough.
Yeah, I'm optimistic, but as long as the process starts to root or put the plans with definite science and evidence-based policy making. I'd like to see the voice of the engineer more obvious, because at the moment there are a lot of politicians, a lot of non-technical people talking the game, and it would be good to engage the engineers worldwide, and that's what we're trying to offer. We're trying to offer, we say we would like to engage with you and help you with those numbers. So please, can we, join the party?
Thank you very much, Dr. Cooke.